All right, we'd like to welcome Daniel Berger into the interview room at the 2022 Honda Classic. Daniel's making his 7th start in the event, has 2 top 10s. Daniel, if we could just get an opening comment from you on your return to PGA National. I know you weren't able to play last year.
Yeah, I wasn't able to play last year. It's kind of loud, but you know, it's one of the events that I always circle on my schedule, just being 15 minutes from here and having some good memories in the past, and it's a great event. I love coming back.
And we last saw you in Phoenix, had to withdraw from Pebble Beach before that. Could you just give us an update on the status of your back injury?
Yeah, I'm feeling 100% now. It was a bummer to not be able to defend at Pebble, and you know, Phoenix didn't go the way I wanted to. Didn't get the practice in that I would normally do, but I've had a nice, 10 days where I can be at home, do the stuff in the gym that I needed to do, and I feel ready to go this week.
All right, we'll take some questions from the media out here. We'll start right over here.
Hey, Daniel, when I spoke to you in Phoenix, you know, one of the reasons is you just didn't have the preparation that week because of the back. And were you able to get in the golf part of it in that part and get prepared for this tournament like you want to?
Yeah. It was a struggle early on in the week leading up, but I felt 100% the last 5 or 6 days, and it's always nice to come back here. I think I take for granted, playing here and being so close to here, and a lot of people will talk about who's not playing, but I think it's a great event, and I'm glad to be back for my 7th time.
Steve?
What are the advantages of playing a home game, and if there are, what are the disadvantages?
I think one of the advantages is obviously being in your own bed and being so close to home, and having the support from your family and friends so close by. I went to high school not far down the road, and I've played well here in the past, and I've got good memories here, and almost won here my rookie year. So it's a tough golf course. I think it suits my game really well, and as the course continues to get firmer and faster, I think the scores aren't going to be very high, and there could be some carnage out there.
Why does this course suit you?
I just think it's a driving golf course. You got to put it in play, and I drive the ball really well, and so that's the number one thing. And you have to chip and putt it well out here. You're just not going to hit a ton of greens. There's a lot of challenging holes, especially coming down the stretch. Obviously the bear trap, but you really have to be solid tee to green.
Are there any disadvantages to a home game?
I honestly don't think there are. I love it. I mean, being able, like I said, sleep in your own bed and do everything, wake up in the morning and make coffee on your own coffee machine. It's nice.
Okay. Off topic, a couple of things. Could you talk about what it meant to get the letter from Arnie after your first victory? Yeah,
that was a really special letter, and it was kind of a couple months before he passed. So I framed it. It's in my office, and I look at it occasionally just to kind of bring back good memories. And I had some good experiences with Mr. Palmer. I played in the Palmer Cup when I was in college, so got to got to know him a little bit better there, and then throughout the years spent a little time with him. But he was such a cool guy, and he was so open. You had any questions, you would ask him, and he would go on for hours talking about whatever you wanted to talk about.
You've won 3 times since then. Have you missed those letters?
I do, yeah. I've missed those letters. It's just so cool, from such a legend of the game to get something like that, and it's a very special thing to get.
And the last one from me. For the Players' Championship, it's often said that the most terrifying tee shot is 17. I'd like to write about a story about what is the second most terrifying tee shot.
Probably 17 here. 17.
I mean,
at the Players. That's a good question. Probably the 18th tee. Because you feel like once you get done with 17, there's a little bit of relief, and then you get to 18, and it's just as hard of a tee shot. And for me, I cut the ball, and it's a dog leg left, so you're re-teeing if you don't hit the cut that you want to hit.
You have to start over.
I started over the water, yeah. I've played it differently in years past. I used to hit 3-iron off the tee. Then I went to hitting driver. Then I hit 3-wood. So it really depends on the wind, but. I remember one year it was so firm and fast, I hit 3-iron, 9-iron into the green. So it really depends on the conditions, but it's usually firm and fast out there.
And we all know what water trouble brings, what water brings. How difficult is that right now?
Well, the thing is, you don't get. I mean, if you miss it to the right, it's almost an automatic bogey as well. I mean, so you really have to step up there and hit a good tee shot if you're looking to win the golf tournament coming down the 18th hole. It's an amazing finishing hole. It really is. You know, you got 16, 17, 18. It's one of the best finishes in all of golf.
Chris?
Daniel, for this golf course, most people's attention is on the bear trap, but on the front side, 5, 6, and 7 are a pretty tough 3-hole combination. What makes those 3 holes so difficult?
Well, I mean, 5 is a 215-yard par 3, again, with water all down the left. So, I mean, and the greens are firm. So you're hitting a 5-iron into a green. I mean, it's almost impossible to stop it on the green. It's a bit challenging. And then, you know, 6 it's almost I mean, it is a par 5. We're playing a par 5 as a par 4. And if you hit it anywhere in the bunkers, it's a layup. I mean, so you almost have to think of it as a par 5, and you're just trying to make, you know, 4 birdies throughout the round. But if you played that hole 1 over for the week, you'd be gaining shots in the field. And then you go to 7, and it's another 230-yard, you know, par 3. So you've got 3 really challenging holes. And I almost think that sometimes those are harder than the bear trap because you just have to hit so many quality shots in a row.
And then if I could ask you about what your reaction was to Phil's statement last night and if you've talked to other players about that statement.
I honestly don't know what he said. I don't follow really much of what's going on, so I wouldn't be able to comment to really make any sense, to be honest.
Tom?
Just and a follow up on that, if you just
Sure.
since this whole thing came out and a lot of players getting behind the tour now, can you just give your stance on that?
Yeah, I've always been behind the tour. I think Commissioner Monahan is the right guy for the job. I think he's done an amazing job through COVID, something that probably was a little people didn't give him enough credit for what he was able to do in such challenging times. And there's no one I would trust more to guide the tour through all of these difficult times. And I think he's done a great job. And I like where the tour is headed. I like the new initiatives that have been brought out. And I honestly, I don't know much about the whole Phil Saudi thing. I try not to pay attention to it. I just think it's just kind of like noise. But my experience with Phil in the past has been good experiences. And I think everyone deserves a second chance. So if he's sincerely sorry for what he said, then I think, you know, he deserves a second chance.
All right, Daniel, we appreciate the time. Best of luck this week.